Okay, let's unpack this. You might think you have a pretty good handle on how nature's pecking order works, how the big birds and the small birds generally get along, or rather, how they interact in the wild. But sometimes, well, the natural world just throws a massive curveball. And the smallest creatures, they step up with the biggest surprises. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a truly unexpected avian showdown. Seriously, it challenges pretty much everything you thought you knew about feather dynamics. It might leave you with some profound insights into courage and strategy, actually. Our fascinating account, which is really the heart of our deep dive today, comes straight from the expert eyes of Birdwatcher. Now, Birdwatcher is a highly respected BirdLife South Africa preferred tour operator and guide. It's brilliantly run by Ben Fuchsia, and he's also a registered national tour guide for nature and culture, so really knows his stuff. And what Ben witnessed in Sedgefield, wow. It was a clash between two incredibly different bird species that, honestly, you simply won't believe until you hear about it.
It is fascinating, isn't it? What's truly fascinating here is how a place that's renowned for its tranquility, its slow pace, can suddenly just erupt with such intense drama. Sedgefield, yeah, it's often affectionately called the slow town, because of its famously leisurely tortoises crossing the roads and such. But it's anything but slow when it comes to its vibrant avian population. It's absolutely bustling with bird life, a real haven. And those towering eucalyptus trees you see all around. They aren't just scenic background, no, they are prime real estate, really crucial, coveted nesting spots for countless birds. And even in the depths of winter, you can feel it. There's this palpable anticipation of spring. The breeding season is always just over the horizon. And with that promise comes intense competition for these really valuable spaces. We even saw a kind of prelude to this last summer, remember, when those majestic Goliath Herons, huge birds, among the largest herons in the world, actually chose the town as their nesting grounds. That really set the stage for even more activity and, well, as it turns out, some quite surprising conflicts.
You can really feel that buildup, can't you? That tension. So, okay, picture this. A typical serene winter birding experience. Maybe you bundled up, got a hot drink, expecting some quiet observation, perhaps a peaceful moment or two, just soaking in nature's subtle beauty. But for the keen observer from Birdwatcher there in Sedgefield, that serenity, it shifted dramatically. They were driving through the area when, high up in those exact same eucalyptus trees, a flurry of sudden, really aggressive movement caught their eye. And there they were, the majestic gray herons perched on the branches. You know the look, elegant, almost prehistoric silhouettes, stark and graceful against that clear blue sky. A beautiful, calm scene, right? That's what you'd think. But then, here's where it gets really interesting. Suddenly it became clear something was very, very much amiss. This was definitely not a peaceful morning for these herons. Not at all. Because it wasn't just the herons up there. Oh, no. Mixed in with them and causing all that commotion were several small, dark birds. And they weren't just fluttering about or perching politely nearby. They were actively swooping down on the herons. Not with grace, but with incredible speed, precision, and just raw aggression. These were fork-tailed Drongos. You can spot them pretty easily by their distinctive, deeply forked tails. Now, while they might be small, maybe roughly the size of a common thrush, you quickly learn that these birds are absolutely notorious for their sheer fearlessness and their incredibly strong territorial nature. It's kind of their defining trait. The size disparity, between these Drongos and the much larger herons they were attacking, it was huge, sometimes more than 10 times their weight, easily. Yet the Drongos were clearly dictating the terms of the engagement. It really makes you stop and question our assumptions about the natural hierarchy, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, of avian behavior, this scenario really highlights a crucial and actually well-documented aspect of Drongos.
Yeah.
Their reputation as these sort of avian underdogs who consistently punch far above their weight class. This isn't some isolated incident. It's really fundamental to their survival strategy. It's well-documented, this mobbing behavior, as biologists call it, where they actively attack and drive away birds many, many times their own size. In fact, the account from Birdwatcher even mentions specific examples of them challenging really formidable opponents like large crows, various buzzards, and get this, astonishingly, even the mighty African fish eagle.
The fish eagle, wow.
Yeah, a bird of prey that can snatch fish from a lake with ease, yet it often backs down from a determined drongo. It's incredible.
That is incredible. So what makes them so effective?
Well, their tactics are incredibly formidable and highly specialized. They use those sharp-hooked beaks for quick, targeted pecks, and they deliver these relentless aerial assaults. But it's not just, brute force. It's their agility, their incredible aerial maneuverability, and their just unwavering persistence. They're fiercely protective of their nests, their territories, and any perceived intruder, doesn't matter how large or imposing, is met with swift, coordinated, and decisive action. There's no hesitation there, no second guessing, just pure, unadulterated defense, often quite strategic too. They seem to understand that if they don't defend their space, they lose everything. Nesting sites, resources, it's critical.
And in this particular case, their objective was just crystal clear, wasn't it? These Drongos were absolutely determined to drive the herons away from their chosen nesting spots. What was amazing to witness, apparently, reading the Birdwatcher account, was this vivid, almost cinematic picture of the assault. Despite their significantly larger size, the herons looked completely overwhelmed by the Drongos' relentless attack. It really sounds like small fighter jets harassing a lumbering bomber plane, that kind of dynamic. And the Drongos weren't just randomly flapping around either. Their precision was astounding. They specifically targeted the herons' backs and legs, which, when you stop and think about it, are areas that are incredibly difficult for the herons to defend effectively with those long beaks. It sounds like a tactical masterclass by the smaller birds, almost like they were exploiting a known weakness. What do you think enables that level of precise attack? Is it just instinct, or is there something more going on?
That's a fantastic question. And it really does get to the heart of why they're so successful. While instinct, sure, it plays a huge role, it's also about their unique physiological adaptations for flight. And frankly, their observed intelligence too. Drongos possess incredible aerial agility. We're talking rapid wing beats, the ability to change direction midair almost instantaneously. Their short, broad wings allow for these quick bursts of speed and really tight turns, which makes them incredibly difficult targets for a larger, less agile bird to counter. Herons, on the other hand, well, they're graceful, yes, but they're built for wading and slow, deliberate flight. In an aerial dogfight, they're at a severe disadvantage. So the Drongos are basically exploiting this difference in maneuverability. They're hitting and running, constantly harassing from angles the heron just can't easily reach or defend. This strategy, this mobbing, it's energy intensive for the Drongo, sure, but it's often successful because it makes the cost of staying in the area too high for the intruder. It becomes a battle of attrition as much as it is a direct fight.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, a strategic retreat makes more sense than a futile, exhausting battle for the heron. And the description from Birdwatcher really paints this compelling picture of the heron's reaction. Their eyes, usually so serene, so focused on the water below, described as wide with alarm, fixed intently on their agile attackers, their normally composed demeanor, that kind of regal calm they usually have, completely gone, replaced by this visible mix of fear and, well, frustration. You could almost feel their discomfort, their dignity being ruffled. And apparently the wind even played a part, ruffling their feathers, adding to this overall sense of chaos and urgency that filled the scene. It was a really profound display of how even the strongest, most majestic birds can be disoriented, overwhelmed by relentless, targeted aggression, especially when their perceived safe space is invaded like that. So the outcome, the big finale of this skirmish. Well, despite their significant size advantage, despite their generally imposing presence, the herons eventually succumbed. They gave in to the Drongos' overwhelming onslaught. They really had no choice but to take flight, retreating from the scene, leaving the smaller birds victorious and in undisputed control of that territory. It truly must have been a privilege for Birdwatcher to witness such an unexpected, such a dramatic encounter unfolding in real time. It's not something you see every day, is it? And it makes you really appreciate the hidden dramas, the surprising power dynamics constantly playing out in the natural world. It really makes you rethink what dominance truly means in an ecosystem. Size isn't everything, clearly.
Exactly. Exactly right. This encounter is just such a potent reinforcement of nature's raw power, its adaptability. It's a vivid reminder, isn't it, that even in the quietest moments, like the supposed calm of winter in Sedgefield, the fundamental struggle for survival, for territory, continues relentlessly just beneath the surface. And maybe the most compelling lesson here, the real takeaway, is that even the smallest creatures, when they're driven by incredible courage, specialized tactics, and just unwavering determination, can display astonishing prowess. They can come out on top against seemingly insurmountable odds. It's a testament, really, to the fact that sheer size isn't always the defining factor in dominance, not by a long shot, especially when it comes to defending your home, your nest site. This deep dive really shows us how specialized aggression, tactical targeting, and just that unwavering territoriality can override sheer physical mass in nature's constant battles for survival. It's a powerful reminder that true power often lies in strategy and determination, not just in physical size.
So what does this all mean for us, then, beyond just an amazing bird story?
Well, I think it's a powerful reminder of the surprising, the dynamic interactions constantly happening within the avian community, especially in a place as rich in biodiversity as Sedgefield clearly is. That heronry there continues to be a source of constant wonder, constant fascination. This kind of interaction really makes you pause and wonder, doesn't it? What other dramatic natural interactions might be happening unseen right around us every single day, whether it's in our backyards or out in the wild places? And as spring approaches, I, like Ben from Birdwatcher, I definitely look forward to observing the herons as they hopefully rebuild their nests and raise their young, undeterred by these past encounters. And you can bet I'll be keeping a close eye out for those fearless drongos. Always ready, it seems, to defend their territory with that unwavering ferocity, a true testament to their, well, indomitable spirit.
Absolutely. And if you found this deep dive into Sedgefield's avian drama as fascinating as we did, well, you're in luck. You can learn so much more directly from the experts. Just visit the blog and news section on www.birdwatcher.co.za. That's birdwatcher.co.za. The Birdwatcher website, again, run by Ben Fucci, it is absolutely packed. Incredible videos, fascinating news updates, stunning images, detailed trip reports, so much more. It covers a huge array of birding experiences all across South Africa. It's a fantastic resource, really great for passionate bird photographers, dedicated birders, the twitchers seeking out rare species, as well as general bird watchers just enjoying the hobby. Plus, honestly, it's a truly great educational activity. Perfect for families, school children learning about nature and the incredible wildlife around us. So I highly encourage you, subscribe to the Birdwatcher newsletter. You'll get all the latest birding highlights, rare bird alerts, fantastic photo highlights, and news straight from the field. And don't worry, they promise. No spam, just feathers.
Huh, a perfect promise indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those eyes peeled for nature's amazing and surprising dramas.